and welcome to my channel again, TorAthena. I never thought I'd be doing the video I'm going to do today as early as I'm doing, but in the 6 months that I've been doing YouTube videos, I have had a ridiculous amount of people ask me for advice, which I never thought would happen because have you seen my videos? I don't even know if this one is in focus. But nonetheless, apparently you guys think I'm doing something right and you want to know what it is. So I'm going to do a very little video on tips on how to start a YouTube channel. Do not mistake this as a video on how to make it big on YouTube. When I figure that out, I'll tell you, but that is something I've yet to figure out. This is something that of little mistakes I've learned from that I wish someone had explained to me. So let's begin. Well, first you need an idea for your channel. Now, whether that's simply that you just want to voice your opinions on things, you want to film vlogs, you want to film reviews, you want to do a little mini web series, I don't have to list everything, but literally no matter how big it or small an idea that you have, you need an idea. That's the first thing you need. Don't just make a channel and then expect the ideas to flow. I get more and more ideas when I'm filming other things. But I already needed an idea. My original idea was that this channel was just going to be me vlogging cosplay stuff. And look how that's evolved. Okay, so you have an idea on what you're going to film. Now you need a name. Usually people suggest that your name should very easily suggest what your channel is about. Geekism Gaming is very obvious on what that channel is about. Making Games 101, very easy to know what that channel is about. Good Mythical Morning? Not so easy. TorAthena? Who knows what that is? There is a difference between establishing what you're doing and creating a brand. TorAthena and Good Mythical Morning is a brand. It doesn't explain what it does or anything like that. So it doesn't really have to explain what you're doing, but to get more noticed and recognised, they suggest that you should do that. And also be careful, because although now you can change your name, you never used to be able to, you can't change your URL. So as soon as you pick what that is, make sure that you're happy with it. Okay, now you've got the name, you've got your ideas. Now you need to make your channel look good. You need a good display picture. I'll be honest, I just picked the latest selfie at the time and kept it there for 6 months. The one I did pay close attention to though was the banner art. I'm not going to go into too much detail here on how to make good banner art, but I will put links below that help you find where to go and what dimensions they need to be in. It took me about a day to get it right, a couple of hours of tweaking and messing about, but I eventually got it. And don't worry, you don't need to know Photoshop. That helps, but it's one of the few programs I can't get my head around. I use a website called PicMonkey, the link will be below. It's free and I use all my photo editing on there. Okay, now we've got all that out the way, you're going to talk about filming. This is probably going to be the most in-depth part of the video. First off, you need to talk about lighting. Lighting is crucial. The better the lighting, the more professional your video looks and it's easier and nicer to look at. Don't go crazy. Don't go running off online and spending hundreds of pounds on spotlights with your first video. I strongly recommend to everyone who's starting out to evolve. There are still YouTubers with millions of subscribers that still use natural daylight. Only up until December, I use natural daylight in all of my videos. Usually that meant that I had to make sure I was timing at the right time of the day, that I just had to stand in front of a window and have the camera point at me. It did the trick. Only in the late winter, where after I work it's never light, did I have to break out the spotlights. But a nice cheap trick for you, if you can't afford spotlights, natural daylight bulbs are a cheap, effective and good source of light. Normal light bulbs are quite yellow, but natural daylight bulbs are usually much brighter, whiter, and are a nice little in-between bridge to building a lighting system. Now you've got your lighting sorted, maybe you should think about what the light is shining on. Your background can also be very important. As people who've been watching me for quite a long time have known that my backgrounds have changed a lot. I am quite lazy when it comes to backgrounds. I'm just sitting on my bed because I think my Superman bed sheets and my Yoshi and my Ninja Turtle Raphael is enough for me, and that's quite simple, it's quite clean, and that's fine. In my office I like to have comic books in the background. I think it all depends on what type of channel you're doing. When I'm talking about comic reviews, it usually is better when I've got comics all behind me. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. But I think you should put at least minimal effort in. Make make sure it's clean. So you've got your background and your lighting sorted, now you need to film it with a camera. I have gone through so many cameras filming all my videos, it's ridiculous, and I still use loads of different types of cameras. It just depends on what you're doing. Originally, I borrowed my dad's Handycam. It was only 720p. It was very pixelated for some reason, but it did the job. People really liked my videos and responded well to them, which made me feel then more comfortable to invest in my own camera. For sit down and talks, DSLRs are usually the better camera to have. Because of the lens, it gives a lot more softer focus. You can have much better depth perception, which just gives a nicer look and touch to sitting down and talking. It also usually films in 1080p if you have the SD card and memory capacity to allow that. And also, you usually have the features to add external mics for sound quality, which is also incredibly important. If you're vlogging and going on location to anywhere, depending on what you're filming, you may not want to be talking to a massive camera in front of you, and that's where compacts play in. My absolute pride and joy is my Canon G7X. It has incredible features, incredible lighting, an incredible lens. I just love it. This goes with me everywhere. But the Canon G7X is a £300 to £600 camera depending where you're getting it from, and not everyone, especially me originally, could afford that. So I started vlogging with a Canon Ixus 265HS. It's very lightweight, it's very small, but more importantly, I was comfortable vlogging with this. With my dad's Handycam, it was this massive thing and I felt far too conspicuous in public filming with that, where this was actually 1080p, it standard SD card compatible, Wi-Fi capability, so you could send pictures straight to your phone. It was really good. The only downsides to this was the battery life wasn't amazing, but then so's the Canon G7X. And the lighting, in poor lighting, the lens didn't pick up pictures very well. But the best part about this camera, it's only around £50 second hand. Websites like CEX give a year's warranty with that as well, which is what I did. This is an amazing startup camera, and I recommend it for most people. Sometimes I even use my phone. Most phones film in 1080p as well, or near enough good quality. The only problem you got to consider with that is getting them onto your PC can be troublesome at times. The battery can drain and you might not have enough memory. But it's a great little camera that you have at all times. Although, can people please, for the love of God, stop filming with your camera phones like this? We live in 2016 now, people. Come on, we've had smartphones long enough. Do it like this. It makes it into a full widescreen resolution. This horizontal filming, landscape filming, not a stupid little thin strip. Come on. When filming, I strongly recommend that you have some sort of script or rough guide on what you're going to talk about. Otherwise, there is a massive likelihood that you are going to go off on some crazy tangent and you're going to forget what your whole point of the video was. As example, this is what I've written for today's video. First, I started off all the points that I should talk about. Then I put the points into order of when they should be talked about. And then I broke them down. So this is talking about filming, lighting, cameras, background and sound, and then everything I should discuss in those subcategories. Here's two things I massively learned the hard way, and it took me a while to learn. When you are filming, you are not live. If you make a mistake, it's okay. If you like the YouTubey look where everything is cut and snappy and very fast paced, the best way to do that is film it slowly. And I don't mean talk really slowly, I mean pace yourself. Here's an example. When I'm filming, I film like this. Hello and welcome to TorAthena. Today we're talking about comics. I know what you're thinking. We always talk about comics. Yes, but these comics are previews. So yeah, it looks really weird and slow-paced and disjointed, but look what it looks like after editing. Hello and welcome to TorAthena. Today we're talking about comics. I know what you're thinking. We always talk about comics. Yes, but these comics are previews. See? Took me about 6 months to get that filming technique down. You have to start thinking steps ahead. You're not live. The lens you're talking to is not listening to you. You have to think about what you want it to look like and how to get that. Breathing in between statements and sentences are also really good, not only for editing and making YouTube look snappier, but it's really good for getting your mind together, what you want to say, your composure. But also, if you make a mistake, it's so much easier to remember where you start the sentence again. And that's also my second tip. If you make a mistake, for the love of God, start your sentence again. The amount of times where I'd make a mistake, where I'd be going, hello, my name is Lucy and I'm from Level Up. Oh, I'm not from Level Up, I'm from TorAthena. Don't do it like that. Because then when you do edit out the mistake, and that's if you can, it probably looks like, hello, my name is Lucy and I'm from TorAthena. It just doesn't work because you say different words and different inclinations and you'll forget how to say it naturally. Start the whole sentence again. There are some times you won't see it, but I've had to say a sentence like 10 times, and by the time I've said the sentence the 10th time, I hate my life. But you wouldn't know that because the editing is so much more cleaner because I've always said a full sentence. Sometimes I forget. You're never going to be perfect, but it is a massive tip that will make editing, it'll save a lot of time. Now you've filmed everything and there's those little tips that I can tell you. The only other thing I would say is when it comes to editing, don't go crazy. I use the free program iMovie on my Mac, and to the point where people who have used like Adobe Pro, or is it Adobe Pro, where they've spent hundreds of pounds, they've actually said they don't recommend me to use it. Because for the videos that I use and the type of effects I need, I've learned iMovie inside and out now to the point where I can use it to a very high standard. And you start learning that you can do things that don't look as obvious on iMovie. So don't worry if you only have a free program to use. Do not think that you can only have basic features. Learn how to use that basic program as much as you can to get advanced results. What I would do is first get a good rough idea on what your channel is going to progress into and what you need from it, and then have a look and a research of what editing software can do. From my research, I've yet to find a perfect one. They all seem to have something the other doesn't have. So you pick what you need the most. And lastly, a thumbnail. A thumbnail is very important in the YouTube world. It's basically the picture that makes people click on your video. Yes, you're going to have people that follow you and friends will check it out, but overall, when browsing YouTube, your only clicks are going to come from if you have an intriguing or inviting thumbnail. Once again, you don't need to use Photoshop. Obviously, it helps if you do. There are certain features I wish I could do, which I can't. But overall, I find PicMonkey is an all-around great startup editing program. It's a free web-based editing software and it's brilliant. I'm not going to teach you how to use it or how to do thumbnails or anything like that, but I will put videos I personally use to learn thumbnails in the links below. Then all that's left is to upload the video. Don't forget to tag stuff, write a good description, and good luck. I know these are really basic tips and advice, but they are all stuff that I had to learn by myself. I wish there was a video like this, because all the videos I came across was how to use one specific thing or how to make it big on YouTube, which it's not for everyone. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd love to have the numbers and the followers, but I do this as a hobby. The recognition I get is a byproduct, a very satisfying and something I'm very grateful for byproduct. I guess I think that's my last piece of advice. Yeah, people make money on YouTube, but I wouldn't do YouTube with that intention. Do something you're passionate about and you love talking about, and you do it anyway. I do. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope this video helped you. If it did, please let me know. Comment below, like the video, subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!